Hello, my people. Thank you once again for joining us on another Critics Collective review. And today we're going to be talking about Disney Plus's new series, Ironheart. Today with me, I have the not so super fan Manny and Cory Marcus in the house with me. Now, just to dive right in, just to give you guys a brief synopsis on this one, IMDB I don't know, you guys. Tell me what you think. This is what they said about it. Genius teenager inventor Riri Williams creates the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man. That's it.
That's it.
Yo, that's
that
terrible.
that is terrible. That is terrible. That is all they gave us. That's it. And I tried
Oh
searching to
man.
see if someone else had, a little bit more of an elaborate
Hmm.
synopsis. And no, they were
That's
like, no,
crazy.
fuck you guys. No.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
all they gave it.
That's what's up.
Alrighty,
Mm.
alrighty. So just to jump right into it, guys. Let's start with our highs and our lows. I think the last one I did, Cory, you went first. So I'm gonna go with Manny. Go ahead. What were your highs and your lows, sir, for this new series?
So some of my highs, as far as even though they changed a lot of things, as far as her origin story, Ironheart,
Mhm.
they did kind of like those hints towards the original comic, like some of the characters and how she built her suit. Um, oh, they shooting out here, but even with some like, damn, it's kind of hard to because I'm not really a fan of the suit. That's one thing. That's one of my low. I'm not really a fan of how the suit is built. It looks kind of bulky. It doesn't really matches I'm probably gonna sound like I'm being too critical about it, but I wish it would have been more leaning to more towards the comic because they did that for Iron Man. They could have done that for this character. Um, but even though the story, as far as her stepdad and her friend getting passing away,
Mhm.
it's really close and similar to what happened. It's not that close, but similar to what happened in the comic. So I was happy with that as far as like how they stuck close to some of the stories related to the comic. A
Mhm.
lot of characters in there they did change their how they look compared to the comic, like the blood siblings. They look totally different in the comic. Um, they're called the Blood Brothers. Even Slug, that one binary chick, she it's a big fat white hair dude in the comics. So they changed like he literally has to get carried by a forklift. And he's like a gang lord. So a lot of changes happened that I was like, oh, they made those character her, I guess her villains. Um, Story wise, I didn't think they needed to have I don't know if I'm going too deep yet and yet, but and one of my icks with the story, like I didn't think they needed to make her character the way she is to prove a point of as far as growth. You know,
Mhm.
I think that the character should have, in a way, gotten that growth as especially after Wakanda Forever,
Mhm.
but it just they took that character and just brought her 3 5 step back the way the story kind of progressed. Because in the comic, yes, she was in MIT. I know I'm keep comparing the comic, but in comic, yes, she was in MIT, but she didn't. The way they had her going around, having
Mhm.
to get parts of it in the comic, she didn't really have to do that. And probably in this other discussion, but I'm just let Cory take over from there because if I go into the, I'm just gonna spoil it.
Mm.
Alrighty then, Cory.
Did,
Go ahead and give us your highs and your
You
lows.
you want?
did you do your lows?
Oh, I think
Think
I
it
kind of
was
include. It was pretty much low. Like
it's all in one. Like this is my little high.
because
These
it's.
are
I'm not
all my
saying it's
low.
like the show. I'm not saying the show is bad in itself. Like the story. The story's fine,
Hmm.
but it's just the character alone. It's like I didn't feel like there was no growth at all.
Yeah.
Even towards the end of the story where um she's building this other armor, I'm like, wait, you could have done that the whole time, but in the beginning you had to go through all this criminal activity just to get the part. You see what I'm talking about, right? And
Mm.
like you could have gone to the junkyard and did this, but you had to go. I'm like, for real?
All right, all right. Look, we're going into spoilers. We're going into spoilers. All right. Go ahead, Corey. Tell us what were your highs
Uh,
and lows.
Let me start with my lows. Lows is yeah, she didn't at the. I feel like at the end she didn't really learn anything. Because we talked about that before we started. Like you just like why? What are we doing here? Um,
Mhm.
I guess the length of the series. I just feel like they try to compact so much information into 6 episodes that we it just like felt rushed a bit because it was just like we got this really quick high, but then it's just like all right, now it's over. There was no like they didn't spread it. I don't think they spread out the series evenly enough through like a 6 episode arc. Um, what is it? She's a teenager in this. I thought she was like
She's supposed to be
close to.
15 years old, I think.
She's 15.
You
And the
see, but
cop and the cop.
that's what threw me off, though.
Yeah.
Like, because they make it seem like when they're introducing her backstory a little bit, like, hey, this was her at 15, and now I feel like they were making her a little bit older. Like maybe
Okay.
she was like maybe 19
Okay.
ish, That's how where I feel like her age range was at.
Okay. All right. So I mean, I didn't. So to put things in context for I've never read any comics of Ironheart. So but yeah, my lows were just like I just feel like the story was just like too rushed. My highs, I guess some of the action sequences was cool. I loved I can't even really can I don't even understand. Like my favorite part was the AI situation. I gotta
Mhm.
just say that. Okay, the AI situation. I like that aspect of it. Um, the characters that they introduced towards the end of the series. Um,
Mhm.
but beyond that, it's watchable. Um, but I feel like next go around, she just needs a movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Um.
you're just cutting them short. Like, okay, we got season one
Yeah.
now. Let's just do a movie and we're done.
But they have it
Yeah.
like they have it titled as a mini series. I don't even know. It's probably gonna be like we were talking about before, Corey. Like I think they're probably gonna go introduce those other character in the movies or something.
Yeah.
But you can see at the end with the spoiler, they might try to because even though it got good ratings in Rotten Tomato, they might
Hmm.
do another like 6 episode to close it out
I need at least like 8.
Yeah,
because
Cause
that
six.
at
that
least.
that new character they introduced is a Doctor Strange character.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The
That was weird too.
you know what I'm talking about the girl, the little girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
So
just like, hmm. But yeah. That's why I just felt like it was just like, all right, we need to move this along 6 episodes. Let's get hit these points in each episode. But um, but yeah, those are my highs and lows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to say I do agree with both of what you guys shared. I myself have not read the comic books for Ironheart, so I don't really have that negativity towards it to compare it to something else.
Mm,
But I do feel, as you said, Corey, the show was rushed. I didn't see any progression in her character, which didn't make sense to me because I felt like her character was so quick to judge others who are dealing with grief
mm,
that she allowed her own grief to control her.
mm-hmm,
And it didn't make sense. It was like the pot calling the kettle. So I think that full circle, like it just annoyed me. It just annoyed me because I'm here. You are trying to show someone to be one way, and then you go off and you do your own stupid shit in connection to your own grief. Um, I just felt that she allowed that to control her too much. And don't get me wrong, I know firsthand that loss, especially when it comes to like a dad figure in your life, is hard to deal with. But I felt like they made her a little bit of a whiny bitch when it came to it. You know, like yes, we all it annoyed me. It annoyed me to the 10th degree because I mean, don't get me wrong, everyone deals with grief differently. But then don't judge others. Oh Lord Jesus, can't even speak English today. Um how they're dealing with their stuff if you're making the wrong decisions based off your own grief. And not that I didn't enjoy it because I did. My biggest high, other than of course the action scenes and stuff like that, and like a lot of the cinematic colors and things like that. I like things that pop and are very bright. Um, so I mean that kept my attention. And I do want to see where they're gonna go with her storyline if they do, come out with a second season prior to her maybe being introduced into whatever, Marvel movies that are coming out. Um, but I don't know, like it just feels like they were really trying to pack things in to just 6 episodes. And the whole thing just felt a little rushed. Not that I still didn't like it, but it did feel rushed.
And I
Um,
believe I
mhm.
swear I heard somewhere Rhodey was supposed to show up in this.
Yeah, I did hear one of
Oh,
that.
really, really, really. I didn't hear that, but
Yeah. It was like
mm.
that was a while back when they mentioned that.
Oh, okay. So maybe it was
Yeah,
something that changed eventually. Maybe it was something that was going to happen and they cut it. Who
yeah,
knows?
Because I know they were gonna do a series called Armored Wars for
yeah.
Rhodey,
Mm.
and
Well,
he was
that got cut. Yeah,
what his scene.
his that series, Armor Wars. I feel like I think that got cut
Oh
because
yeah,
I
it
think
did.
it was from I think because I think it was supposed to be a series, and they was like, "All right, we're gonna do a movie," but then they just took it out.
Oh no, I'm reading it right now. Like it was this series was supposed to be Armored War, but they
Okay,
changed it to Ironheart instead.
really? Oh,
Yeah, and
Oh.
Rhodey was supposed to show up as a character ultimately, and they scrapped it.
mm, okay.
Mm. Okay.
I mean, it would make sense for Rhodey to show up though, like because y'all, I'm pretty sure people getting wind of an iron suit flying around Chicago.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like they're like, like if it's another day in
And,
the park.
and I
Like,
like that. I like that about the show. How everybody was like, yeah, it's just an iron suit, you know?
oh,
Like
there goes
really,
another one.
yeah.
Like it's just another day.
And that's one thing I like the writing is there, like to make a
Yeah.
great show, and it's just I don't know the character built, and like you brought up, they made her in a way like whiny, complain about stuff, where oppositely in the comics she just was doing shit because she could do it. She built the Iron Man suit because she could do it. Then
mm,
he probably heard it in online now how she said, Tony Stark only was able to build the Iron suit because he was a billionaire,
mhm,
which nobody that's an Iron Man fan like because he built his first armor in a cave in the middle of
Hmm.
Iraq somewhere,
yeah, scraps.
Afghanistan. Then Ivan and Iron Man 2 built his armor in a prison cell with a bunch of junk. So it's like, you know, orange and apples kind of situation going on. Uh, and plus the character development, it was just these decision making where she's lied, cheats, steal, but no growth at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
No.
no, not learning from your mistake or. And I understand same with you Aaron, when it comes to loss, but you just gonna assume there's no like you just gonna make a deal and assume that there's no
Repercussions.
yeah.
Like
So
there's no consequence to you doing what you did. And I don't want to spoil it for our audience, but damn, like damn.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping when they do come out with the next season that it shows that there's a method to their madness with this one.
No,
That it's
but
like, hey,
her,
she's gonna be a dumbass in this one, but we're gonna show you how she changes for the better in the second
but
season.
you already, I don't know how they're gonna do that, but you already see how they made her character. She's already like volatile. She's already short tempered in a way in the show.
Hmm.
Now with this thing she's gonna have going on, how is she gonna be?
Hmm.
Is she gonna
That's
be
true.
like 10 times worse?
Ooh, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
plus just like Tony Stark after I don't know which Iron Man he was dealing with anxiety. She was dealing with anxiety too from the thing that happened with her friend and her stepdad. She was dealing with anxiety just from that alone.
Hmm.
Mm,
So, which what I like, kind of a comparison with her and Tony Stark, the whole anxiety thing, having to deal with that.
mm.
But damn, they
Yeah,
kind of they had it there, and they missed the ball with a lot of things.
they did.
Yeah.
They
They ain't
did.
have
I
enough
would
time.
agree. I would agree. All right, guys. So let's go into rating this baby. So here on the Critics Collective, we use accolades.
You
Ugh,
get it,
whatever.
okay.
Eddie could yell at me about it later. Um, so let's see if I can say this word correctly. Accolades. There we go. So 5 accolades for us is excellent. 4 is good. 3 is average. 2 is below average. 1 is poor quality, and 0 is horrible. Just
Mm.
horrible. Like Venom. Alrighty, gang. Who would like to go first? Go ahead, Corey.
So we can't say like a 0.5 or something,
No,
anything.
because you will
It
get
has to
bitched the
be
fuck out like I did.
it's,
So
it's,
go ahead.
it has
Let
to
me
be
stop.
clear
No,
and
I
cut.
didn't. But
I'll say I'm gonna say, damn it, I really want a 0.5 in there because it's like I'm stuck because it had good points, but it also dropped the ball in many. I think I'll just give it a 3. I'll just give it a 3.
okay.
Um, I say 3. It did have good points, but I really don't see myself rewatching this again.
Mhm.
Unless it's just like maybe like I wanted to, see something specifically, but I'll give it a 3. Just because I feel like it was rushed and it's like a lot of stuff they could have put in there, but they didn't. Um, yeah, that's just a 3.
Got it. Alrighty then, Manny. What you giving
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I agree with Corey. I'm gonna give it a 3. Average. Again, feels like things were missing or and also rushed.
Hmm.
Uh, Unnecessary changes that they shouldn't have done.
Mm,
Hmm.
Um, but and plus the character development,
Yeah, of our
Uh,
main protagonist.
yeah,
I
and,
feel you.
and, and I'm trying my best not to compare to the character I've read in the comic, but it's hard knowing how like optimistic this little girl I read about, like how she was so optimistic about just building the suit, like because hey, I can, you know,
Yeah,
mm,
just
we
to
can.
have somebody, it just didn't feel right to me, and I don't know. Plus, I'm tired of with the trope. I'm not even gonna go into that. Fuck it.
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
even.
yes. We'll save that for later. We'll save
Yeah.
that for later. Well, I have to agree with you both. I am going to give it a 3 as well. I wish we did do 0.5s because it would have been a 2.5 for me. I'm just going to throw that out there.
mm.
I know why
Hopefully, I don't
Marvel
get
keeps
no pop.
shooting himself in the foot with these shows, man.
But it averages out to an even 3 for this first season. Hopefully,
Mm,
they do better for us in the second season.
If we get one.
If we get
okay.
one, yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope so because I feel like there are a lot of holes they need to fill.
Mm.
Pause.
Well,
So,
it's not bad. I'll say that it's not bad, but it's not
it
great.
yeah,
Yeah, so
it's average. It's
it's
average.
like you can watch it.
It's average.
Yeah.
But before we let you all go, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Share your feelings on this first season. If you think everything that we shared was bullshit and that this first season was great, please let us know. We want to know. But once again, thank you for spending your time with us here on the Critics Collective. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.